Assalamu alaikum. Can you hear me? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great pleasure to address you. I am very grateful for the Ideological Society within Queen Mary University to submit an invitation to us. And I bring you warm greetings from Tripoli, liberated Tripoli. And I would like to speak for 10 minutes to highlight the main features of our political movement and how we started. And I will try to leave other important aspects of our manifesto during question time. We, as cyber rebels, were very much active on the virtual world under a political movement known as the Libyan Freedom and Democracy Campaign. I am very proud to announce that this virtual world platform has more than 70% of its members mainly Libyan women. As a matter of fact, the lady that chose the 17th of February Anger Day in Libya, she lives in Dubai. We have to respect her wishes. She doesn't want to be identified, but she chose the 17th of February to mark the Remembrance Day for the killing of a young Libyan youth at the tender age of 12. His name is Reza Pankhurst. In 2006, a spontaneous youth demonstration went to the Italian Consul General in Benghazi against the offensive Danish cartoons. It was a natural act by any Muslim who has in his heart a devout love for our Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. And sadly, the Libyan security shot this young person, and thereafter a group of youth from the same neighborhood came with a more angry voice, and unfortunately more than 20 young men were killed at that incident. Not one Libyan security official was held accountable for this hideous crime, and it continued to be added to the endless list of excessive human rights violations, especially in the Cyrenaica region. And that's what has compounded the anger pressure, which meant that Benghazi erupted first. Actually, although we cited the 17th of February as the Anger Day, but Libyan women, as hot-blooded they are, they didn't wait for the 17th. They came out on the 15th. They came out on the 16th. Can you imagine, in a male-dominated society, Libyan women came out on the 15th in the evening, which is very unusual, and they were demanding that the human rights lawyer that was representing the families of Abu Slim massacre to be released. Yet again, they came out on the 16th. And it just shows you that the Arab Spring movement, although it was triggered by the elite intellectual youth that access social media, and we need to put this into context, the internet penetration in Libya prior to the 17th of February was less than 2%, but still it did have the right impact to galvanize the national mood towards breaking through the diamond ceiling that we had. For 42 years, Libyans were not allowed to exercise politics, and suddenly on the 17th of February, the Berlin Wall collapsed, and we found ourselves in the deep end. We have no experience, we improvise as we go, and we very much see the Arab Spring as a youth-led movement, and rather than our voice being silenced, as usually the case, and the political dynamics to regress to the old status quo, we said no more. The Arab Spring phenomena is a leaderless phenomena. We have more revolutionary legitimacy than our current interim Prime Minister, Dr. Al-Kib, who was voted in by 52 selected members of NTC. There is a huge age gap between the current executive body of the National Transition Council, which their age group average borderline 70, and those who came out on the 17 years of age. And that's why we have taken this important historical step to enter politics, and we said the only way to incorporate the youth voice and to exercise politics is by establishing a political party. So the Libyan Freedom and Democracy Campaign on the 14th of July gave birth to the first political party. We do not have a headquarter yet. We don't have a bank account. It's based on voluntary participation. We are a leaderless political party. We will nominate somebody for that post, but we are aiming to bring in the concept of choice. We have an approach to work bottom up. We know where we want to reach. We know how we should get there, and the political process is about forecasting and how you adjust your position advantageously to cater for all the other voices. However, our political party has a unique stand, where we say that political Islam is a failure. We say that political Islam has been poisoned because the pen of the clergyman or the imam was under the influence, under the hegemony of the Sultan. Political Islam that gave us the Abbasi, the Umayyad, the Fatimi, the Ottomans, the Gaddafi, that dynamic Muhammad Bouazizi allowed us to challenge it. We say that the chapter of jurisprudence and reasoning in Islam that was closed by the Salafi ideology over 1,000 years ago, we have the right to open it. And we have used our own tools, the Quran and the Hadith, to excel and to publish a fatwa where we derive a chronological order for the establishment of Islamic secular democracy. This political term is our own invention. We have noticed people in Libya, when you use the word secular, they think you are an atheist, so hence the convenient insertion of Islamic. And we say that I advise you all to visit our website and to critically examine the fatwa that was put about by a number of cyber rebels from Kuwait, from Oman, from Egypt, from Morocco, Mauritania, and it's something that Muhammad Bouazizi allowed us to carry out. We see Muhammad Bouazizi as a prophet for freedom and democracy. The only way you can regain your dignity is with democracy. Coming back to the Democratic Party and where it wants to be, we feel that as a party that it's not been registered yet, because in Libya, unfortunately, we do not have the judicial system up and running yet, and we have many teething problems, but we do not want to reinvent the wheel. That's why we sought to form alliance with many political think tanks that have worked in existing models like Madrid Club, like Gorbachev Foundation for Democracy, Chatham House, the Gotham Institute, and others, political think tanks that have excelled on the legal science of democracy. We say that in 1969 we missed the opportunity of building democracy. We do not want to miss it in 2011. And the way we propose to build democracy is very much by incorporating a direct UN role. As the NATO military phase is out, we see a phase-in of direct UN help. And in Libya we have precedents for this. Libya was born out of United Nations General Assembly in 1949. They dispatched for us a Dutch lawyer, his name is Adrian Belt, who governed Libya for 2 years. He's known, his mandate is known as the Adrian Belt Commission, primarily laying the foundation for democracy. That process was ferociously dismantled by Gaddafi's regime in a systematic way, and now Libya is have a very critical political and institutional and legal vacuum. We are very pleased that United Nations has dispatched a veteran diplomat, His Excellency Mr. Ian Martin. He used to be the director of Amnesty International. He also served in the setting up of East Timor, Eritrea, and other Balkan countries. So he has got very strong understanding of human rights, and we very much use soft power to lobby for more endorsement for the role of Mr. Ian Martin. And we see the flaky National Transition Council as a consultative agent in making sure that we address two important pillars in the transient fluid phase of Libya. The first one is the national reconciliation, which we very much want to follow the example of South Africa. And the second one is how we address the injured revolutionary fighters all over the world in many different capitals. I have been asked to make a concluding remarks. I would like to say that it is our aim to build the party day by day, and ultimately we will have an opportunity to find out our hard work, what result it will achieve when the Libyan will walk to the ballot box in 45 years, and hopefully they shall cast a vote to the Democratic Party in Libya. Thank you.
Thank you to both of the speakers for presenting their views. We're going to have a brief moment where they can comment and respond on each other's presentations.